In the United States, thousands of people are gathering in Tulsa, Oklahoma for President Donald Trump's first campaign rally in more than 3 months. The city has a history of racial tensions, and there are fears that Trump's visit could spark violence. The date of the event is also being criticized, coming just a day after Juneteenth, the day marking the end of slavery in the U.S.
In several cities across the U.S., demonstrators toppled Confederate monuments in public spaces, including a statue of General Albert Pike in Washington, D.C. In North Carolina, a Confederate statue was hung on a traffic light before being removed by police. The dismantling of the controversial monuments came amid otherwise peaceful Juneteenth gatherings and rallies, commemorating the end of slavery in the U.S. But President Trump responded by tweeting that the police weren't doing their job. The president's original choice of yesterday's historic date for his campaign rally sparked such a large outcry that it was postponed by 1 day.
The president said he was coming on June 19th. Didn't know it was Juneteenth Day.
But even more controversial than the choice of date is the president's choice of location: Tulsa, Oklahoma. This city is the site of the worst incident of racist violence in U.S. history. In 1921, the city's Greenwood district, a bustling hub of successful black-owned businesses known as Black Wall Street, was razed to the ground by white mobs. 300 black people were killed. 99 years later, many Tulsa residents are still affected by racism. They say Donald Trump is not welcome. Not far from the Greenwood district, Trump supporters have been camped out for days. Thousands are expected to attend the rally on Saturday. Black Lives Matter protesters have also planned their own rally, and fearing the potential for violence, the city has imposed a curfew around the venue for Trump's event. In a town still bearing the unhealed wounds of the past, locals have a message for President Trump.
And I got a message for President Trump. If you want to make America great again, you got to make Black Wall Street great again. You got to make Black Wall Street.
And I'm joined now by correspondent Stefan Simons, who is in Tulsa, outside the arena where the rally is scheduled. Stefan, what is going on there right now?
Yeah, we're standing in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, and here to my right is a security fence built up, and right there on this side too, the camera can show you this, is actually the checkpoint which lets those hundreds of Trump supporters who have already gathered here in a few hours getting closer to the arena after going through some security checks. But as you can see right behind me here, there's hundreds of people here now, and the crowd is growing by the minute, and they're quite excited to see their president, they say. Some of them, dozens of them, have camped out here all night, all week, so to speak, and now that's their day, and they're very excited. So far, everything is fairly peaceful. The occasional very patriotic chant, and that's the situation so far. There will be thousands more coming here, that's for sure.
Well, I'm sure. And listen, I wanted to ask you about, because, you know, Donald Trump has given, let's say, discordant messages on how to deal with the coronavirus, whether or not his followers were following the health guidelines. But we can see, our viewers can see right behind you, they're pretty close to each other.
Well, let me step aside from the camera here to the side. You see, there's nothing. Social distancing is just right out of the window. Nothing happening like this. Nobody's social distancing here. And a lot of people are not wearing masks. And we talked to some. They really think COVID-19, a lot of them think COVID-19 is A, over, or B, never was actually existent. They decline to understand or say for them COVID-19 was never a problem, will be never a problem, is probably a hoax. So that's a little bit surprising and disconcerting, actually, I have to say, because, of course, wearing a mask is protecting the other person, right? Not just yourself, the other person. This falls on deaf ears here in this crowd.
Yeah, well, precisely. I think people around the world have got that message. Police, though, there in Tulsa, are they worried about clashes between anti and pro-Trump people?
Of course they are. Not right now at this hour, but the later the day and into the evening when the rally actually starts, 7 p.m. local here in Tulsa, there will be even more law enforcement on the streets. You see this security fence here and the National Guard deployed, 250 of them in Tulsa actually, and right behind the camera there are a few. You can't just see that. This is all Secret Service, FBI, Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation, Metropolitan Police, Sheriff's Department, and I could go on and on and on. There's lots of law enforcement here. And yes, there are concerns that protesters, Black Lives Matter protesters, who are scheduled to protest just 2 miles away on Detroit Street, that this will cause some friction or maybe even violence. I wouldn't go there and say, like, this is a done deal. There will be violence, but it is, of course, possible. It's very emotional here. People are very emotional. Those people here, and of course, Black Lives Matter protesters are. And yeah, it could go any way.
Okay, well, let's hope nothing happens. In any case, our man Stefan Simons is on the ground in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thanks very much.